Hello and welcome to LSJ News. It's 4:15 and I'm Gregor Smith.
And I'm George Birch, and these are today's top stories. Residents in Sincil Bank feel they're in danger in one of the nation's most crime-ridden areas because the authorities aren't doing enough.
People are travelling from all over the country to get their legal highs in Lincoln.
Lincoln is a magnet for legal high users. That's according to a report released today by the Times newspaper.
And how a circus school has been saved from closure thanks to a last-minute reprieve.
Residents of a Lincoln neighbourhood have spoken out about how they feel in one of the city's most crime-ridden areas.
The Sincil Bank area falls in the bottom tier for crime in national statistics. Angeline McCall has more.
When people think Sincil Bank, they think Lincoln City Football Club. The team's league position, however, isn't the area's only struggle. A series of high-profile deaths and crimes have instilled fear and worry into those that live there, who are predominantly migrants, young students, and elderly people.
Sincil Bank sits right here at the heart of Park Ward neighborhood in Lincoln. In national statistics, Park Ward comes in the bottom 5% for crime and health deprivation, in the bottom 10% for living environments, and the bottom 20% for employment deprivation. So we spoke to local authorities to see how they're combating the issues that are further solidifying Sincil Bank as the inner city development of Lincoln.
In this case, on the 16th, it was for drugs. So we were searching the property under the Misuse of Drugs Act. We did the search, we took the search team in and searched dogs, and we found a substantial amount of heroin at the address. So the occupant at the address was arrested for possession with intent to supply. And to be fair, you know, that was all come about from community involvement, really, and community information about people standing up and saying, I'm not happy with what's happening in this area where I live. You know, this is the information I want to give to you. And as a result of that, you know, we carried out 2 search warrants.
Despite the changes and the efforts that are being made, how safe do locals actually feel? We spoke to one resident who lives in a now gated community following the series of high-profile events that have taken place in the area.
People come, not really nice people. Either whistling up to a flat or throwing pebbles up, asking for drugs, and I've gone out the door there, out into the back garden to empty my bins, and I found needles and abuse on the doorstep, actually on the back doorstep. In the archway there's been piles of poo, used needles, legal high, empty packets.
Legal high abuse has decreased, according to police reports, since the recent closure of Marley's Head Shop. Other businesses have taken a hit, though. One owner, who refused to speak on camera, has decided to relocate his business as a result of the high level of crime. Despite the lost hope of some, others believe the area is not a lost cause.
I think in the short term, to make people feel safe again, which hopefully we've made a start. We've made a start to that. I would love to see then a whole range of activities in the next 12 months, a whole range of projects that bring the diverse community that we've got together in Sincil Bank and celebrate that.
So the question is, will Sincil Bank be able to fight against its inner city reputation? The rapidly changing scene and demographic suggests Sincil Bank won't be in for an easy ride. Angeline McCall, LSJ News, Sincil Bank.
And staying with this theme, Lincoln has just been announced as the legal high capital of the country.
Ross Garrigan went to find out why people are travelling from all over the country to get their highs.
Lincoln is a magnet for legal high users. That's according to a report released today by the Times newspaper. An investigation published this morning found people travelling from as far as Manchester to buy the substances from Lincoln city centre. As a result of the booming trade in the area, drug-related crimes in Lincoln are at an all-time high. In the past year, Lincolnshire Police have dealt with 3,652 incidents involving legal highs. That's 1,356 more than the year before. The number of incidents trebled nationwide over the past 12 months. But on top of stereotypical drug addicts looking for a cheap thrill, it's students who really boom the trade in the city. Lincoln has over 10,000 students across 2 universities, and a cursory ask around this campus found 3 in 10 of them have admitted to using legal highs at some point in the last 6 months.
I've been taking legal highs for about 2 years now. Mostly do it on nights out, like with friends. We don't really think about it that much, really. It's not like, oh, we're like taking drugs, it's just like a bit of fun. We definitely don't think about it, whether it's dangerous or not. It's just a bit of fun, really.
City councillors are currently discussing banning legal highs in the city centre. If they do it, it'll be the first ban of its kind in Britain, but only time will tell what effect that'll have on the UK's capital of legal highs.
Following a recent rise in cybercrime, people are being reminded of the dangers of the internet. As part of Internet Safety Day, a security expert has told LSJ News how to stay safe on the web.
To get the message across to students to do the right thing about security, and those type of messages are be careful what you do on social media, and watch out for phishing emails, and keep your devices up to date. Those are like the 3 big things that students can do to look after their own security.
Commuters in Lincoln could see a major rise in prices after the takeover of East Coast Trains in March. The Competition and Markets Authority watchdog have warned that due to a lack of competition, passengers could be paying more money for a lower quality service. Some of the affected routes include sections between Peterborough, Grantham and Lincoln.
The price of Britain's favourite takeaway is getting more expensive. The Norwegian cod, common in traditional fish and chips, has risen in price by almost 25%. According to Lincoln's fishmongers, it's because of high demand for the popular dish.
They've not been fishing in the North Sea because the fishing industry now, in Grimsby and around the coast, we haven't got a fishing fleet anymore. So over the last couple of years, the fish cod stocks have actually come back up. And as far as the price is concerned, it's basically nothing to do with the amount of cod that's in the waters, it's actually what's landed.
Lincoln is a haven for tourists as it's been voted the 3rd hottest holiday destination in the world due to its historical landmarks including Lincoln Cathedral.
But are the costly repair works on the cathedral causing problems for tourists? Philip Timothy Wilson-Smithcop reports.
Cuba, Morocco and Costa Rica. Just a few of the places Lincoln beat in a Daily Mirror poll on the best places to visit in 2015. But when you do come here, you might not expect to see this. Scaffolding, engravings hidden behind boards, and drilling. Lincoln Cathedral is a huge building, and as a result, it's a huge job when it comes to restoration, which leads to an even bigger cost. But just how much does it cost? Well, in 2000, the annual cost was at £1 million a year. Now it has tripled to £3 million, half of which is entirely in donations. And if that sounds expensive, English Heritage have estimated another £16 million will also need to be spent on repairs over the coming decade, after the group put Lincoln Cathedral on the at-risk list. And it's not just work going on the cathedral itself that's a concern. Outside the front of the cathedral, and you might be able to hear, there are gasworks directly in front of the main entrance. And the question then is this affecting tourism in the area?
These things have to take place, and because it's conservation, it's nothing that you can do quickly overnight. But I think people have that understanding and an appreciation, and no, it isn't ever put upon that it is a complaint.
So despite all the renovations, Lincoln still remains one of the top tourist destinations in the world. Philip Wilson-Smith, LSJ News.
And Devon Williamson is here with the sport today. So Devon, tell us about the new ticketing scheme at Sincil Bank.
Lincoln City have just launched a new initiative for this weekend's match. Our reporter Owen Bellwood has more.
This new initiative, launched by the club, gives fans the chance to pay whatever they believe the match is worth, with a minimum price of £1. This is for Saturday's game against Chester Football Club, in which the team are hoping for their 8th successive home win. Fans have until Friday to secure their tickets for this match. It's all part of an initiative set up by the team in order to pay off £380,000 in debt since the Cooperative Bank severed all ties with the club.
We're always looking at initiatives to run, we have been doing throughout the season, whether it's family tickets or reduced children's prices, and thought let's do one that opens it up to everybody possible, and the best way to do that is, let's implement the Name Your Price.
Staying with football, Leicester City manager Nigel Pearson will not be charged after an incident with Crystal Palace midfielder James McArthur. The FA contacted match officials about the incident and have decided not to take any further action. Tonight, Leicester will face Arsenal. In other fixtures, Hull take on Aston Villa, Sunderland will play QPR, and Liverpool clash with Spurs. Now on to rugby union. World Rugby has said that Welsh winger George North should not have stayed on the field against England in the Six Nations match on Friday. This is after he sustained a head injury deep into the second half. England went on to win the match 21-16. That's all for your sport. Back to you in the studio.
And finally, the Lincoln Circus School is no longer doing a balancing act after being saved from closure. A donation from a local councillor means the sessions can continue. Kelly Pyart reports.
The clowning around, exercise and tricks continues for these children as new funding has guaranteed the future of this circus school.
So this is what was going to be one of the last sessions of the Lincoln Circus School, and thankfully for these children it won't be. This circus school has operated around Lincoln for the past several years in the Ermine Abbey and Sincilbank areas, providing children of all ages with a perfect opportunity to learn some great confidence and exercise skills.
The donation from a local councillor means the rent of the Croft Community Centre is paid for the next 8 weeks. Carl Robson, the chairman, provides the tuition free of charge, and he says the tricks learned have secret benefits.
What's hidden behind the fun and the skills is sport, concentration, coordination, lots of the kind of important things that children apparently need, etc., and don't quite get. So we kind of give them that kind of those benefits in a fun, friendly way.
One of the children, 7-year-old Archie, was very excited at the announcement of extra funding and tells us what skills he's learned.
You learn quite a lot and it teaches you how to do things, so I've learned how to do the hula hoop out here.
The future for these children looks bright. Hopefully even more will benefit from this circus school. Kelly Pyart reporting for LSJ News.
And Calvin Robinson's here with your weather. What's it going to be like this evening?
Yeah, it's definitely a chilly one in Lincoln today. We're experiencing highs around about 4 degrees Celsius. Later on though, it's going to get to about 2 degrees Celsius, so when you guys are going out, you're going to need your coats. And tomorrow it's going to be more of the same, except the highs are going to be around about 5, but dropping to 2 again later.
That's all for today, but keep up to date on our website, lsjnews.co.uk.
Or follow us on Twitter at LSJ Tweets.
Goodbye.